This is Rummy's Corner. Good evening, boxing fans, and welcome to part 13 of 13 in the latest survey series, the 2010s. We've finally reached the absolute finish line, the long overdue finale of this ranking experiment. Here is the scoring system, where 28 volunteers provided me with a chronological list of between 10 and 25 names who they believe represent the greatest pound-for-pound boxers who competed in the 2010s. Let's rock. Number 10, Wladimir Klitschko. Dr. Steelhammer lands in the number 10 spot, marking his second consecutive appearance in the top 10 after finishing at number 8 in the 2000s. Klitschko is a dominant force in the heavyweight division during the first half of the decade, utilizing his towering frame, a devastating straight right hand, and a masterful jab to dictate the pace of his fights. During the 2010s, Klitschko successfully defended his unified heavyweight crown 11 times before dropping the titles in late 2015. Quick note, the record information listed below is the current information available on BoxRec and is just here as a point of reference. Wladimir appeared on 17 out of 28 lists in the survey, which included one vote inside the top 5. Number 9, Alexander Usyk. Usyk lands at number 9, and that's 2 Ukrainian boxers in a row. After turning professional in 2013, Usyk utilized supreme lateral movement, a relentless engine, and an elite ring IQ to clear out the cruiserweight division, invading enemy territory to win the World Boxing Super Series and become the first undisputed cruiserweight champion in the modern four-belt era. Of course, Usyk is still active, and his greatest accomplishments have been happening here in the 2020s. Usyk landed on 21 out of 28, securing 4 top 5 finishes from the panel. Number 8, Terence Crawford. Crawford is an American boxer known as Bud, and he was an exceptionally versatile operator throughout the decade. A master switch hitter with elite ring intelligence, a sharp counterpuncher, and one with a bit of a mean streak inside the ropes. Crawford captured his first world title at lightweight in 2014. He then moved up to junior welterweight, where he cleared out the division to become the fully undisputed 4-belt king, and Crawford closed out the decade by moving up to welterweight and capturing another world championship. Bud also went on to accomplish much more here in the 20s. Bud appeared on 24 out of 28, including 5 votes inside the top 5. Number 7, Vasiliy Lomachenko. Lomachenko is a Ukrainian boxer known as the Matrix, and he possessed a sublime skill set that completely mesmerized fans and opponents alike. Backed by a legendary amateur pedigree, Lomachenko utilized spectacular footwork, rapid-fire volume, and unique angles to systematically dismantle his opposition. After winning a world title in just his 3rd pro fight at featherweight, Lomachenko moved up to capture championships at junior lightweight and lightweight, becoming a 3-weight champion in record-breaking time. Lomachenko landed on exactly 23 out of 28 user-submitted ballots, including 12 votes inside the top 5. Number 6, Roman Gonzalez. Gonzalez is a Nicaraguan boxer known as Chocolatito, and he was a relentless, beautifully orchestrated offensive machine. Gonzalez blended non-stop volume with impeccable technical footwork, cutting off the ring with ease while throwing fluid combinations from every conceivable angle. Chocolatito won major world championships across 4 different divisions, capturing titles at minimum weight in the previous decade, and during the 2010s he also captured championships at light flyweight, flyweight, and junior bantamweight. Chocolatito is selected on 23 individual ballots, securing 10 top 5 finishes, and he also received 2 first-place votes. Number 5, Gennady Golovkin. Golovkin is a Kazakh boxer known simply as Triple G, and he was one of the most feared and avoided powerhouse punchers in the modern era. Golovkin possessed a heavy-handed thudding jab, a granite chin that never truly dented, and immense cutting off the ring capability that allowed him to trap his opponents. Triple G put together a terrific middleweight championship run during the decade, and many observers believe he was unjustly denied a career-defining victory against rival Canelo. Golovkin landed on 26 out of 28, which included 10 votes inside the top 5. Number 4, Andre Ward. Ward is an American boxer known as the Son of God, and he was a brilliant tactician who always found a way to win. Ward had an elite boxing IQ, exceptional inside fighting skills, a strong command of range and rhythm, and a masterful ability to adapt and neutralize whatever his opponents brought to the table. Ward began the decade by dominating the Super 6 World Boxing Classic to become the unified super middleweight champion. He later moved up to light heavyweight where he won unified championship honors before retiring at the absolute peak of his powers with a perfect unblemished record. Ward appeared on exactly 27 out of 28 ballots, including 22 inside the top 5, and he also received 1 first-place vote. Number 3, Saul Alvarez. Alvarez is a Mexican boxer known as Canelo, and he's an elite counterpuncher who evolved into a multi-divisional powerhouse during the 2010s. Combining slick head movement and sharp combinations with a devastating body attack, Canelo captured his first world title at junior middleweight in 2011. Throughout the decade, he went on to win championships at middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight, establishing himself as the sport's premier marquee attraction. Canelo appeared on every single volunteer ballot submitted, with 22 votes inside the top 5, and he also captured 1 first-place vote. Number 2, Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao is a Filipino boxing icon known as Pac-Man, and he continued to compete and win at the elite level throughout the 2010s. Driven by blazing hand speed, quick feet, and an unrelenting southpaw attack, Pacquiao entered the decade as a multi-weight champion and proceeded to capture multiple welterweight crowns and a junior middleweight title. Even as he aged into his late 30s and 40s, Pacquiao continued to defy time. Of course, Pac-Man finished first place in the previous decade, so a second-place finish here is a mighty strong follow-up and a testament to his longevity. Pac-Man was featured on every single ballot submitted by the volunteer group, cracking the top 5 on exactly 21 individual lists, and he also received 1 first-place vote. Number 1, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd was an American boxer known simply as Money. Mayweather was a defensive wizard who possessed an extraordinary boxing IQ, cat-like reflexes, and exceptional timing with pinpoint precision. Mayweather dominated the decade's biggest mega events, capturing unified championships at both welterweight and junior middleweight. He closed out his professional career at a perfect 50-0 after defeating the elite challengers of his era. Mayweather finished second place in the previous decade, and here in the 2010s, Floyd completely dominated the survey with an incredible majority, appearing on all 28 ballots, landing inside the top 5 on every single one of them, and leading the pack with 23 first-place votes. Here is the final top 10 list from the 2010s. Just missing the cut at number 15 was Juan Manuel Marquez. And then counting up, we had Nonito Donaire, Sergey Kovalev, Tyson Fury, but well ahead of them at number 11 was Naoya Inoue, and he was just 22 points behind Wladimir Klitschko. Interestingly enough, Wladimir was the first heavyweight in the survey to appear in back-to-back decades since Muhammad Ali did so in the 1960s and 1970s. The crazy thing to me, even though a lot of these guys are still active, and you have Crawford and Usyk, a pair of elite boxers who have done even better work this decade than last, and you have a lot of guys competing still, Canelo, Chocolatito, but then guys like Vladimir and Ward, and to an extent even Golovkin and Lomachenko, those days feel like such a long time ago. Guys I was talking about when I first started this channel 11 years ago. I guess when I started this project, I never imagined it would take more than 3 years to complete, but here we are. And I think this is a tremendous representation of the decade, and a reminder to me at least, that time truly does fly. Which brings us to Mayweather and Pacquiao. Their mega fight happened more than 11 years ago now. And honestly, their out-of-the-ring rivalry was going on for 5+ years before that. When Floyd and Manny were boxing's two best for a number of years, we knew we were witnessing two very special athletes. Now that some time has passed, I think the dust has settled, and we can say without hesitation that Mayweather and Pacquiao are two of the best to ever do it. Each man finished in the top two in each of the last 2 full decades, spanning 20 years. That is a special standing that not many in history have done. We have evidence throughout the entire survey series. Even the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Harry Greb, even he did not manage a first and second place victory in back-to-back decades. Although a first and a third ain't too shabby. Greb finished third in the 1910s and first in the 1920s. So who else has gotten back-to-back finishes inside the top two? The great Joe Louis did it, finishing second in the 1930s and finishing second yet again in the 1940s. We also have Sugar Ray Robinson. He finished first in the 1940s and second in the 1950s. Muhammad Ali did it, and he actually bested what Floyd and Pac did in the sense that Ali finished number 1 in the 1960s and number 1 yet again in the 1970s. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it. No one else. So even if we include Greb, who technically fell just short of what Mayweather and Pacquiao did, that leaves us with Harry Greb, Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Manny Pacquiao, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. To be viewed among the top two in back-to-back decades, that shows a truly elite combination of elite talent and elite longevity. Floyd was the only new addition to the elite 100 point per volunteer club, and he was already a member. Not that I've been strictly tracking averages, but when someone does it, it jumps out. And averaging over 100 per volunteer suggests a very strong consensus for any boxer in the survey who hit that mark. And a lot of them actually hit it twice, Floyd included. Given this has always been a fascinating point of interest for me, and since this is our last entry in the survey series, let us quickly celebrate those who hit the mark since this exercise began. In the 1890s, second place Tommy Ryan was the first revealed to hit that arbitrary mark. But first place Bob Fitzsimmons really drove it home. He had 1,220 points out of a possible 1,250, meaning that it was almost universally believed that Fitz was the top guy from that decade, and understandably so, given he was boxing's first 3-division champion. Joe Gans did it when he finished in first place in the 1900s, and he was a revolutionary, not just being the first native-born Black American boxing champion, and not just as a dominant lightweight champion, but he was also a pioneer in the art of pre-fight preparation. The man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Harry Greb. He averaged over 100 per volunteer in his aforementioned first place finish in the 1920s. 2 more fighters did it in the 1930s. Second place Joe Louis and first place Henry Armstrong, a towering legend in boxing history, the first to simultaneously hold the world championship in 3 different divisions. 2 more did it in the 1940s, where once again, the great Joe Louis finished second place. And we also had first place winner, the legendary Sugar Ray Robinson. Amazingly, 3 guys did it in the 1950s. Rocky Marciano finished in third place, and Sugar Ray Robinson became a repeat customer when he finished in second place. But first place went to the ageless warrior, Archie Moore, the old mongoose himself. That decade was such a tight 3-way race, unlike anything seen elsewhere in the survey. It happened once in the 1960s when the most iconic boxer in history, Muhammad Ali, finished in first place. It happened twice more in the 1970s, where Roberto Duran hit the mark with his second place finish. And once again, Muhammad Ali finished in first place, the only man in the survey to finish first place in back-to-back decades. In the 1980s, poor Sugar Ray Leonard just missed the mark by a mere 10 points. But first place finisher Marvelous Marvin Hagler did hit the 100 per volunteer mark. In the 1990s, Roy Jones Jr. surpassed the mark. And of course, in the 2000s, Floyd Mayweather did it with his second place finish. And of course, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao with his first place finish. And in the 2010s, Floyd Mayweather Jr. has done it yet again, and that puts him in truly elite company. For Mayweather, as a two-time member of the 100-plus elite, the only other guys in his company there are Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Robinson, and Muhammad Ali. If you look at each decade's rankings as to how boxers are perceived within their own era, I hope this illustrates something to both sides of the coin when it comes to old head nostalgia and young punk recency bias, that how you are perceived in your own era is the only way we can compare boxers from different eras. In that sense, Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao are towering titans of the sport, not unlike past icons like the great Sam Langford and the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Harry Greb. A very special thanks to the 28 volunteers who contributed to the 2010's edition of the Boxing Survey Experiment, many of whom have participated every step of the way. I really appreciate you all volunteering your time and knowledge to this project and for making the commitment. You all indeed rock. Thank you very much. Once again, here is the final top 10 list from the 2010s. And just a quick note to everyone, I do plan to use the survey results from all 13 surveys as a loose basis for a follow-up video on a top 100 ranking. I'm very excited for this and have already done some preliminary work. Sadly, the 2020s are still in progress, so the actual project will focus on the top 100 boxers between January 1st, 1890 and December 31st, 2019. But spoiler alert, there are some active boxing legends that will make the cut, but I'll tackle that when we get there. A path is formed by laying one stone at a time. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and have a wonderful night. This is Rummy's Corner.